What's going on? All right, gang. Well, I have got a little life lesson for y'all out there, you DIYers or just poor type people like me. So I have my son has my wife's old Chrysler 200 that she drove before we bought her the Compass, and my daughter had the WJ Cherokee, which you may have actually seen on this channel. Well, that unfortunately met a premature demise. I say premature, it was at 245,000 miles when it did. Anyway, she doesn't have that anymore. So we bought her a car to go away to school. She didn't go out of state, she just was farther away than from home. So we got the exact same year Chrysler 200 just to universalize all the parts and go with the devil you know. You know? Well, she is a dance instructor at a studio, and when she got to the studio today, she called me to say that she had a flat tire. It seemed to go flat as she was pulling into the studio. She did have a bad tire that I figured was going to cause a problem at some point, but we were winging it. I grabbed my stuff. I ran to the studio. Luckily, she parked at a spot where there was a spot available right next to it. Threw my jack under there, blew the tire off, was hustling to get to Bell Tire. Unfortunately, there was a lady that was taking about 10 minutes to get cashed out. So by the time she was done, I asked the guy if he could give me the cheapest tire he had and if they could squeeze it in and swap it for me real quick before they closed. He said yes, and then he told me the cheapest tire they had was his most expensive tire. Well, that's no bueno. So I told the kid I have to get a tire tomorrow. So come home, pick up your mom's car, take her car home because I did not want her driving on the highway on the donut. She was leaving the dance studio to head to my place to swap out the vehicles. The donut went flat. She rolled it off the rim. I could not for the life of me get it back to the bead to set. So, thinking, obviously I didn't have her tire done yet. Her donut was shot and off the rim. What do? I call her brother, who's got the exact same car, and said, hey, bud, come meet us. I need your spare. About 10 minutes he was there, swapped it out. I am following her home as we speak. I made sure his tire was all aired up and ready to go. I think we're all in shape. When it comes down to it, I will have her drive this thing on the donut, and I will go to the junkyard and find another spare or something. But it worked out universalizing the junk vehicles that my children drive. So that's a little how-to of the day, I guess, maybe. But it worked out well. And when I was hung up there for a second, I did look across the street, and car parked in the driveway across the street. It was indeed a Chrysler 200. Came down to it, I could have ripped off the the wheel and absconded with it, but I didn't need to. She's driving in front of me. Luckily, my truck is working fine without any problems. He headed back home to watch some basketball or some hockey or whatever. He was literally in pajama bottoms. Hopefully, he didn't have too many beers before he came over to help, but we got squared away once he showed up. It was just a matter of getting his golf clubs and whatnot out from out from the trunk so we could get the spare out. Got the spare out, threw it on hers, blew it all back together with my Bauer Impact, and back on the road. So I guess what I'm trying to say is the moral of the story is if you're going to have junk cars, first of all, you have to have multiple junk cars because one's always going to be breaking on you one way or the other. And if you get multiple junk cars, if you get multiple of the same, then you have redundancy in parts. And that is a fantastic thing to have. Now, would it be cool if we had like 5 JK Wranglers? That would be neat. All sitting on 35s, you know. then everything would be interchangeable. But old 2012 Chrysler 200s, they're not the worst cars in the world. They're not the greatest, but those little 2.4s that Chrysler makes are pretty decent motors. The problem is out here in the snow belt, everything just rusts away, rots away, and, you know, things happen. But it's been an adventure this evening, and I was hoping tomorrow that I would have my parts in from Rock Auto to go back to working on the Lincoln. If you guys have not seen the Lincoln series, go check that out if you would. There's a playlist. I was hoping to have the parts so I could get back there tomorrow, at least work on those parts, but I don't know if they're going to be in before the weekend. But if they're in the weekend, if they're in on the weekend, I'm going to try to borrow a spare foot from someone and take them with me to go and bleed the brakes, because that little Chinese brake sucker I had was not working. So anyway, crisis averted. I think we're getting vehicles home. All I got to do is get my kid like 35 miles home to her place after this. Driving my wife's still having a payment on it car. Hopefully there's no black ice or anything. She gets home fine and gets back to her schooling tomorrow morning, and then we're going to take care of the tire and get that taken care of then. So if you like the car stuff, if you want to see a guy who doesn't really know what he's doing work on things like that and try to make it semi-entertaining and educational by, you know, don't do what I do, go check out the Lincoln series and let me know what you think about that. There will be more, and at some point, maybe I'll just turn it into one big video, and we'll go from there. But I'm getting ready to pull up at home, so I just want to check in with my Zaite adventure, and now I'm going to go to bed because it's late. So I will see you guys later.